Good evening, and welcome to our weekly dissection of the Royal Circus. Brace yourselves. We are once again plunging into the toxic yet perpetually fascinating waters of Hollywood, where the Duke and Duchess of Sussex, with remarkable consistency, prove our thesis. They didn't just leave the system, they completely lost all touch with reality, dignity, and elementary timing. This past week presented us with one of the most jarring, most sobering contrasts imaginable. On one side of the Atlantic, we had the standard of service, Catherine, the Princess of Wales, silent, somber, graceful. She stood on the memorial balcony on Remembrance Day, embodying the weight of duty, dignity, and a genuine, unpretentious respect. This is not a PR stunt. This is not a contract. This is service. On the other side, in sunny California, we had the Duchess of Delusion, Meghan, and her utterly tactless, perfectly ill timed attempt to monetize her husband's military past, the PR mascot, through a glossy, curated Instagram reel for Veterans Day. Do you see the distinction? One stood in silence, remembering sacrifice. The other created content about sacrifice. That is the entire Sussex brand in a nutshell. They don't want to be part of service. They want to brand it. They don't want to serve. They want to sell Harry's legacy. An heir with 1,000 years of history reduced to an accessory for self-promotion in Hollywood. It is nothing short of a tragedy, but that was merely the prelude. Because this pair, it seems, cannot spend a single week without shooting themselves in the foot, and not just with a pistol, but with a cannon. And that cannon shot has led us to the most utterly cringe-inducing collision of recent memory, the Sussexes versus the Kardashians in Photogate. Let's dissect this absurdity. We are talking about a couple who have made privacy their primary commodity. They fled the UK to protect their quote, their quotient. They sue anyone who looks at them sideways. They are the martyrs of the paparazzi. And where do these self-proclaimed apostles of privacy find themselves? At the 70th birthday party of the matriarch of the most public, most documented, most insatiably superficial clan on the planet, Kris Jenner, the mother of the Kardashians. This is where the irony with a capital I begins. Our, quote, Pashvasan are not just present. Reports indicate they were eagerly posing for photographs, smiling, glowing. They were getting their fix of that Hollywood attention they so desperately crave to confirm they are still relevant. They forgot about privacy because, in that moment, they needed the fame. They needed their photo standing next to Kim, Chloe, or Kylie to say, Kota is Kota, though. But then, someone in their PR war room must have wiped the sleep from their eyes, checked the calendar, and realized with horror, combined, and this is when we see the true face of the Duchess of Delusion, instant panic. They weren't scared of a privacy breach. They were terrified of bad optics. And what do two people who deem themselves superior to the royal family and reality TV do? They reportedly demanded that the Kardashians delete the photos. Do you grasp the magnitude of this? Harry, the man who served in Afghanistan, and Meghan, who deems herself a modern princess, engaged in a PR conflict with reality TV royalty because they were too well photographed, too close to a memorial date. This is not just hypocritical, it is pathetic. This isn't a Skodavan. This is a desperate, clumsy attempt to control a narrative that they themselves initiated. They wanted the fame, but they didn't want the consequences. They wanted the privileges of Hollywood, but the respect of Buckingham Palace. Their PR strategy now appears to be, we use Harry's military pass to look noble, but we only use it when it's convenient. When we need to mingle with celebrities, he becomes merely a PR mascot who can stand next to Kris Jenner. How low this prince has fallen. He has become the spare wheel of relevance for his wife's brand. And now, let us pivot back to the standard of service. While the Sussexes were arguing about which photograph with a Kardashian looked less cringe-worthy. On the other side of the world stood Kate, the Princess of Wales. She was dressed in black. Her face was solemn. She is silent. That is her strength. She does not give interviews about her own journey. She does not film documentaries about her truth. She simply does the job. Her actions on Remembrance Day are not PR. They are not a pitch to Netflix. They are duty. She does not scream about her authenticity. She demonstrates it through her presence, her composure. This is the fundamental, insurmountable chasm between these two couples. The Sussexes believe that service is a contract you sign to get the titles and then tear up when you want to pursue more lucrative endeavors. They want the ability to say, "We are royal, we served," while simultaneously mingling with reality stars to stay in the headlines. Kate and the King, by contrast, understand that service is a lifelong commitment that requires sacrifice, including the sacrifice of personal fame and a personal narrative. The Duchess of Delusion and her PR mascot are engaged in a desperate race for relevance in Hollywood, while the standard of service demonstrates that true relevance needs no shouting. It is born of silence and dignity. They want the association with service via Harry, but they enjoy the life of reality stars. They believe they can be both royal and Hollywood simultaneously. Photogate with the Kardashians proved they cannot. It looks not like an elegant transition, but like a desperate scramble for any flashbulb. They have sunk so low that, to look good, they now have to fight with the most public clan on earth for the right to be unseen in their Instagram. Is this not the cringe of the century? Let us summarize. The Sussex brand is an oxymoron, a brand built upon an endless stream of contradictions. 1. They despise the system, yet monetize their royal titles. They demand privacy, yet manufacture PR scandals to stay in the headlines. They preach authenticity, but their actions are purely self-serving. This photogate with the Kardashians, coupled with the tactless Veterans Day reel, is not just a mistake. It is a death blow to their brand of dignity and compassion. It shows that beneath all their lofty rhetoric, all the documentaries and the books, their true motive is pure, unadulterated fame-seeking. Their desperate attempts to control the optics only underscore their inauthenticity and show the public how truly desperate they have become. They are not the Dukes of Sussex. They are the Duke and Duchess of Delusion and Irrelevance. They are a constantly moving, unstable PR enterprise. The verdict is simple. They are fooling no one. Service is not a sponsorship contract you can sign. It is not an Instagram reel you can release for a quick hit of hype. It is a duty that must be earned through quiet work and composure, just as the Standard does. And while the Standard quietly serves, the Dukes of Irrelevance will remain in Hollywood, forever doomed to a perpetual humiliating race for attention that, as we have seen, inevitably leads them into a fight with reality stars for the right to be invisible. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is the most pathetic royal ending one could possibly imagine. Thank you for joining us. We will see you soon.